Dave throws back to you, and you go into the parents package is the first one, and they've all got front pages on them now, Roger, so I'll try and check the inwards for you. Are they scripted more or less?
3 minutes to the op. 3 minutes.
I've got them on my phone, Jules, so as long as you tell me which one's next each time.
Okay, brilliant. Right, I'm just going to rehearse the programme opening one more time.
Jules, just one last thing from me, it's only one thing.
Yeah?
On my top little bit, my little scene set thing, will you tell me when you're on pictures so I can read the rest of it off the card?
Yes, I will. Yeah, understood. Right. Okay. Programme opening, they just go into the weather, so let's rehearse. Okay, one next. In 3, 2, 1, and cut one and cue Annabelle.
Good evening, welcome to North West. Tonight I'm
We're just rehearsing.
Run A, cue on. Wipe into B next.
2, 1.
Cue Roger.
And I'm Roger Johnson. Tonight we're live in Fusilier Rigby's hometown of Middleton.
Wipe into B next.
The community feels a sense of loss, and we'll be hearing from many of those who knew him.
And white, run B, cue Annabelle. Wipe into A and
Annabelle
Annabelle next.
Workers in Lancashire, as the United Arab Emirates pulls out of a deal for 60 Typhoon aircraft.
Run A, wipe, cue Annabelle.
And no smoke without
Sting
fire,
on B.
while Preston's Pub of the Year has been told to get rid of its warm and cosy welcome.
And running B. And it will be one next. And that runs as we come through. Yeah.
Roger,
Okay, reset. Let's get to the top.
1 minute to the ops. 1 minute.
The uncle is not exclusive. Granada have managed to get a clip with him, so it's not an exclusive interview.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Will you just make sure you go over Roger's bit? So that
What
we're
else? Montage I'm going to fiddle with still, aren't they? Yes, no problem. You need an exact time for that one, because that's your
The
problem, isn't
montage?
it? Yeah, it would help.
It will be a problem if it's over a minute
I'm
and we get to that, yeah.
Well, it won't be, well,
Well, it won't be a problem if it's over a minute, obviously.
no, but it might be actually.
Stand
Stand
by,
by, everyone.
everybody.
A reminder of our main story.
Long standby, Rog.
2 men are found guilty of
About
killing
3
One
minutes to you,
minute.
Dave. 3
in
minutes.
a cold-blooded attack in the middle of a busy street in South London back in May. In court, Michael Adebayo and Michael Adebawale showed no remorse. And that is all from BBC News at 6. It's goodbye from me. And on BBC One, we can now join the BBC's news teams where you are. Bye-bye.
Cut one and cue.
Good evening, welcome to North West tonight.
Stand by.
I'm Annabelle Tiffin.
Running A, cue
Once
on.
a Fusilier, always
Wipe
a
into B
Fusilier.
next.
Tributes to Lee Rigby as 2 men are convicted of his murder.
White, run B, cue.
His parents
Clip on
talk
A
of their
next.
pain at his death and their pride in his service to the country.
Run A sound.
Way of life for the
OS1
outwards. Stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
next. Cue Roger.
And I'm Roger Johnson. Tonight
Wipe into
we're
B
live
next.
in Fusilier Rigby's hometown of Middleton, where the whole community feels a sense of loss. We'll be talking to some of those who knew him best.
And run B, white, cue.
Also tonight,
Wipe
disappointment
into
for
A
BAE
next.
Systems workers in Lancashire as the United Arab Emirates pulls out of a deal for 60 Typhoon aircraft.
And white, run A, cue.
And no smoke without fire. Why
Sting next on B.
has been told to get rid of its warm and cosy welcome.
Run B. Camera 1 next. And mix 1. And cue Annabelle.
Fusilier Lee Rigby had dreamed of joining the army from the age of 4. Growing up in Langley in Middleton, he was determined
Stand by,
to
everyone.
join
We're just
his
going
local
into
regiment.
boxes, okay? That
But last
includes
May,
you, Dave.
the young father was singled out in a horrifying attack near his barracks in London, simply for being a soldier. He'd survived a gruelling tour of Afghanistan, but he was hacked to death on home soil.
What's his next?
by
And then it's
Michael
Roger on
Adebawale
OS1.
and Michael Adebawale,
Stand by, going into
who were
boxes.
today found guilty of his murder.
We're on the
Tonight we'll be
boxes.
live from the Old Bailey in
On 'em.
London with
Roger
our
next.
reporter Dave Guest. And Roger is live in Middleton, the town where Lee Rigby grew up.
And on Roger.
Well, Annabelle, if you talk to people here in Middleton about Lee Rigby,
There's some
those who
move
knew him,
next,
they
and
will
it's on
talk
A.
of a young man
Long
with a great
standby.
sense of humour, a young man with a zest for life, a boy who sat and heard tales of his grandfather's time in the army, and whose mind from that point was made up that he too wanted to be a soldier.
And on the Oove.
But this is a community which
On
came
pictures.
together on this very spot
Thanks, Joe.
back in the summer,
It's all right.
in the immediate aftermath of Lee Rigby's
Back to the
death in
studio
May.
next.
People for whom the horror of what happened to one of their own still.
I think
30 on the
so,
pictures.
yes.
Later in the programme, we'll talk to some of his friends, his former teachers, his former army colleagues, for whom he will forever be known
20 on
as
pictures.
riggers.
There's plenty on the
And we'll
pictures.
also hear from his family, for whom, of course, the loss is undoubtedly the greatest.
And back to Annabelle. Cue Annabelle.
Thanks, Roger. Well, our chief reporter, Dave Guest, has been following the
And it's
trial
Dave
and
next.
today's developments.
Off you, Rog.
And he joins
And
us now
take
from the Old
Dave in
Bailey.
the screen,
Dave.
lovely.
Yes, Annabelle, the place
Oove
behind
next
me
on
is no
B.
stranger to the sensational and to the downright shocking.
It's about
But the
5
case
minutes.
that
Back to you, Rog.
concluded here today has been described as the most savage murder case to be tried here in many a year. Lee Rigby, a lad from Langley who'd served Queen
The pictures
of
are where they
Country,
talked about
was
Lee's
slain
son,
in
Jack.
a street in broad daylight just a few miles from this very spot. The case, of course, shocked the country at the time. And the final moments of his life and his shocking death have been replayed and revisited in graphic detail during the trial here. At times it was all too much for his family, who travelled down from Middleton to attend the trial. After the verdict, his mum Lynn said that no amount of justice would bring Lee back, and his wife said that the family had lived through their toughest times. It's been tough, especially for Lee's young son,
And
Jack.
take the
Who
pictures.
can forget
On pictures.
those moving pictures of Jack saying goodbye
Back
to
to
his
Dave
daddy
next,
at
and then
his
we're going to
funeral in
announce.
Bury.
10 on
And
these.
today in their family statement they spoke about the need to ensure that Jack
5 on
back to
pictures.
Dave.
future.
And going
Run the
through to the
VT.
clip. On the clip. On A.
18 on VT.
We will now focus on building a future for his son Jack, making him as
Does
proud
Dave
of
pick up
This
Julie?
finishes on a still,
10,
and Dave picks
9,
up and cues
8,
into the package as the
7,
front page on it.
6,
nieces,
5,
nephews,
4,
and all of those who
3,
love him.
2.
I
One.
cue Dave.
The murder of Lee Rigby, of course,
Front
caused
page next, which is
widespread
on B.
revulsion, and as Stuart Flinders
And
reports,
running
it was
B.
a crime that was every bit as
Package
senseless
next
as
on
it
A.
was shocking.
And running A on the
He'd
package.
survived a gruelling tour of Afghanistan.
144 on the
Bottom
VT.
day.
Army colleagues dead. How relieved his family must have been to have him safely back in the UK. And then this. First, a car was driven directly at him. What happened next, according to an eyewitness, looked like a butcher.
So
attacking the
next
joint
is
of
Dave.
Days
Dave
later,
picks
Michael
up.
Adebolajo
He
calmly
reads into
explained
to
the
some
police
CPS
why Lee Rigby had
actuality.
been selected for execution.
We then take boxes and go through to Roger.
Just
Yes.
over 2 minutes. Back to you, Rog.
Roger, just to confirm, Dave picks up next and does his bit, and then he throws to you. You then read into the parents' package.
1 minute on VT.
Adebolajo and Adebowale brazenly preached at passers-by that school children were shepherded away to safety. One woman bravely confronted the killers as another comforted the dying soldier.
The montage still isn't in, mate.
was covered with a jacket. I had to leave the jacket. When I approached the jacket, I heard suddenly, "Don't touch the body." So I just lifted my head. and my
30 on
arm,
VT. You or me, Julie?
I'll do it.
Okay.
The other one, Nick Cleaver and the butcher's mom.
With no care for their own lives,
20.
self-styled
Standard out cue.
soldiers of Allah confronted the police, hoping to achieve martyrdom. They were shot.
OS2
and then,
next
in
on
behaviour
day.
contrasting
Counting out
with their
VT.
own,
10,
immediately given
9,
first aid.
8,
During the months that
7,
followed, during the
6,
trial, no
5,
remorse, no sense
4,
of the damage done
3,
that day in
2,
London. Stuart
1.
Flinders, BBC Northwest Tonight.
Cue Dave.
Well, Lee Rigby's
About 1
murder
minute to you,
was
Rog.
So Matt
1
next
minute.
on
to
B.
discover what their punishment is to be. Prosecutors say they'll be pressing for the maximum penalty for a crime that they've described as savage.
Run B, B sound.
16 on the VT.
Dave
Available
picks
to the
up.
judge, the outwards. You pick up, Dave.
Not long,
10,
Roger.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Cue Dave.
Meanwhile, the intelligence and
Log standby,
Boxes
Rog.
now.
Be in boxes soon, okay?
leading up to the death of Lee Rigby, in particular, looking at why, when these two men were on the intelligence radar,
He'll
they
pause
weren't
and then
being
say, now
monitored
over to
more closely.
Roger.
That's for the future, of course. Tonight, though, Lee Rigby's family can at least
Stand by,
rest
Rog.
assured
You're going to be in a box
that the
soon.
men who murdered him have been brought to account.
And
Back to Roger
boxes.
in Lee's hometown of Middleton.
And Roger next. Take Roger.
Dave, thank you very much
Very nicely done,
indeed.
Dave.
Front
Really
page
good
next.
Just down the road from here,
Thanks,
right
Dave.
in the middle
Thanks to
of
your
Middleton
crew.
tonight. He
Clear
was
for us.
raised on the Langley estate, a lifelong Manchester United fan, with a cheeky smile you'll hear from his uncle a little bit later, who said you could never be mad with Lee for long because he had such a cheeky smile. He was so disarming. A determined man as well. Twice the army rejected him, and yet he went back for a third time and eventually was selected and achieved his dream of becoming a Fusilier. He also always kept in touch with home, sent a text to his mother the night before he died, calling her 1 in a million, was posted to Cyprus and Afghanistan and always let them know that all was well with him. His parents have been sharing
And
their
take the
memories
front page.
of their son
On
with us.
pictures.
And run B.
Died serving his country.
2 minutes on
doing what he
VT,
loved,
2 minutes.
Serving the country to preserve our way of life, our freedom of speech.
So just to confirm, Roger, the next one is the Friends queue.
Be able to walk
The
streets
guest isn't. Sorry, it's friends, isn't it?
in peace.
The guest
That's
is there.
what we believed in.
Was a bit,
That's what
love.
we believed he was doing in the army.
How over are we?
Our
Right, we're loads over
democracy.
now.
No, not yet,
We
not
all
yet.
right?
No.
2 minutes on the guest. We can bring that down a touch, can't we,
Yeah,
if
we
need
can.
to?
Yeah.
We've got 2 minutes on the other guest as well.
Yeah.
He met a lot of friends.
That's
you know,
55.
treated them
Now
all
then,
like brothers.
does that end on a freeze?
It's really something you always
Who's done the montage? Lee?
had a
Is it in
craving
Well,
now?
Bruce
Yeah.
Swallow. I'm told it's
so
in now. So look.
determined. I mean, his granddad
Let's ask him.
Montage is in 55. It
was
should
so
be.
proud to be a Fusilier.
And it goes into work and there's screens.
No, listen, we're talking about Lee Rigby, so will you go away?
Oh,
Go
Roger.
away.
No, but listen, I'm talking about being disrespectful to him.
Yeah.
So,
1 minute.
Actually sat there and watched it.
off you go.
Watched it all. Not knowing, and
I think we're safe,
so I
Julie.
tried Lee straight away. I couldn't get hold of Lee. I just thought to myself, it's got to be Lee because he's not phoned. He's not, you know, phoned to say he's safe.
Do a 20-second intro for the next one, Rog. 30 on the
Put
VT.
The family through, having to sit and watch, you know, with what they did to our Lee.
20. The streets again, the outwards.
To go through the same pain of what they put Lee.
Counting out. 10,
I
9,
don't think they should
8,
be able to come
7,
out and
6,
Oh, it's one
5,
next.
walk on
4,
the streets again.
3, 2.
Cue
One.
Roger.
Lee Rigby's parents there, and everyone's thoughts, of course, are
Front
with
page
them,
next on A.
particularly at this time of year as they prepare for their first Christmas without their son. And for young Jack, Lee's 2-year-old son, who, as we well know, is now without his father. Lee Rigby was a very popular young man around here. He played football for Middleton Boys. He was a popular guy at school. He went to the Queen Elizabeth High School, which has now changed its name here in Middleton. It's now St Anne's Academy. We've been speaking to some of his friends and
And
a former
running
teacher
it.
who told us that he was proud
Package
to
on
serve
B.
his son.
Pictures.
And run B.
2:05 on this.
When Lee Rigby became a drummer in the army, he discovered an instrument he loved. He also met his best friend, Owen O'Brien. Lee was Owen's best man at his wedding. Then Owen found himself a pallbearer at Lee's funeral.
And Roger, the next one's a Friends intro.
It was like a brother to me. I used to speak to him about things like...
No, it's not. No, it's not. Sorry, that's what you've just done, isn't it? It's Uncle next. Sorry, my
For
mistake.
me to actually speak to people about my feelings is a big thing.
But the pair were first and foremost soldiers, pulling double duties together on the machine guns they were also trained to man.
Always striving to be better than the other. He used to remind me every day about it. But he was better than me.
Mark, Donna, could you get him to move slightly more
Now then.
to his left, please?
Something might have to be a bit trimmed, as he took rather a long time to get into that.
Okay, we'll bring this first guest down. 15, is that enough for now?
1 minute on VT, 1 minute.
How much out? How much on the weather then?
It's down for
Are you
120,
okay with him
Annabelle.
there on 5?
Give him 130.
Tell me, Luke,
that'd
if
be
you need
enough.
anything.
145.
Got plenty of
45
time.
ideally, I'd rather drop the news.
I haven't got
Okay.
anything to put in the screen anyway, so.
What does that give us on the weather?
About 135 at the moment. She needs
If we
145
lose
minimum.
15 on this, do we get some back for the weather?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's give us 145 then.
Okay.
One of our troop aerials, so within a day we'd organised a big tribute ride,
30 seconds.
signing books of condolence and putting some nice words in for the family to read and stuff. But then I wanted to do more.
20, standard out cue.
Organised all sorts of events.
Uncle intro next.
That desire to pay tribute to Lee has seen
Counting out
him
of
easily
VT.
remembered across
10,
the world.
9,
But it's in his
8,
hometown of Middleton,
7,
among his
6,
friends, family
5,
and neighbours,
4,
that his loss is felt
3,
the most.
2,
Abby Jones, BBC
1,
Northwest Tonight.
0.
Cue Roger.
But it's the support of the people here in Middleton, across the country and indeed around the world, which has been a real source of strength to Lee's family in the months since his death. Abby has also been speaking to Lee's uncle, he's
Front
a local
page on A
councillor
next.
here in Middleton, about the strength
And
that they've had
running it.
in their hours of darkness.
Package
and about
next
what
on
might
B.
perhaps be Lee's legacy.
And running B.
218 on this. You got 145 for the interview, Roger.
So
okay?
next, Roger does a
145.
1+1 with the imam out in.
2 minutes on
At the
VT,
old
2
days.
minutes. Have we got an Aston for the
Yes,
guest?
we have.
Very, very hard.
Right, okay.
I was at Ian's doorstep, and it was about 9 o'clock at night, probably on the second night after his death. A young army cadet, no more than 10, 11 years of age, in full battle dress, walked up to the door, saluted Ian and myself, laid down flowers, saluted. And
Annabelle, when we come back, I'll cut straight off Roger, I think. Pick you up on 3 for the intro and then take 4 when you start chatting to Mark.
What's it been like in the past few months trying to...
Yeah, Annabelle, just move a bit to your left, please. Thank you.
Because you do listen. He was the joke of prankster. He brought life to the party. Lovely lad. You can only be annoyed with him for a couple of seconds and then he'll win you over with a smile.
In the army was his big love. It was the thing he wanted to do, wasn't it?
1 minute on VT, 1 minute. 145 with your guest, Roger.
As famous as they are in 6 BC.
Dropping the news or not?
And he knew that
Might be
story,
prudent.
So, I think he wasn't part of the views of their history. He
No.
rang me on the day he got.
It would be too. Let's just see how this goes, shall
Unless,
we?
of course, you take 15 off the end chat as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I thought
Yeah.
we'd do 15 off
Okay.
each, to be honest. So
Okay.
you could. That's the. I just wanted to get into Cumbrian for the change of something, but we'll
That'd be
keep it
alright.
in for now. We'll lose a bit off the chat off the
Bit
end.
off the end.
Within his son, so, that'll be
30
nice.
seconds.
And all the little mementos which were around the memorial garden in Middleton, all those little things will be kept in a box, and hopefully then they'll be handed over.
20. The out on this is music.
So he'll realise how people sort of like thought about his dad and what he did.
Counting out. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Finishes on
6,
music. OS1
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Cue Roger.
Lee Ripley's uncle there, speaking to Abby Jones. Let's talk to Imam Irfan Chisti, who speaks for the Rochdale Council of Mosques, who's here with us. Now, thank you for joining us.
You got 120 with Mark, Annabelle,
What's been
okay,
the
after
reaction
this?
of the Muslim community in the last 7 months?
Well, I think reaction from all parts of the country
Naming
is
him.
Unified. One of absolute abhorrence and shock and horror that the streets of London, became grounds of this very, very tragic and horrific murder. Butchery on the streets of London, absolutely, despicable.
In the immediate aftermath of what happened, there were a few minor reprisals. Have things settled down now, and have things in a way gone back to the way they were?
I think here in Rochdale,
1 minute on
we're a
interview.
very, very strong and proud Rochdalian community. We've worked together condemning this
Sorry, say again.
act.
Oh yeah, Annabelle, just move a bit to your left again. I know it's having Mark there.
Laid flowers.
Oh yeah, because you're in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, there have been people who've been seeking to divide, but we're very, very proud members of this community, and first and foremost, I should have said this at the start, our thoughts and prayers this evening.
Okay, at the end of this, it's back to the studio for time frame with Mark.
Obviously, it was a very difficult time for them throughout the trial, but this verdict must have given some kind of closure.
And just very briefly, you
20.
alluded to it then, but an act which really sought to divide has perhaps in many ways united people.
Naming him
I think,
again.
This is one
10.
of the kind of positive things that come out of traversity and tragedy sometimes. People who have evil thoughts and evil mentalities seek to divide.
That'd be 3 next.
The good people amongst the communities always come together, and I think that's what this whole tragic occasion unfortunately has shown here in Rochdale.
Imam Francisti, thank you very much indeed for coming to talk to us this evening. That's all from Middleton for now, Annabelle. We'll be back here later in the programme, but we'll return to you in soon.
And to
Roger,
Annabelle.
thanks very much. Yes, let's get some other
We're
news
off, you
now.
love. 7 minutes back to you. 7
which
minutes.
employs thousands of people in the northwest, has suffered a blow after failing to land a major contract with the United Arab Emirates to sell fighter jets. The deal had seemed certain to go ahead last month. Well, our reporter Mark Edmondson joins me now. Mark, this is a
120.
bit of a surprise, isn't it? How close were they to this deal?
Well, according to sources, both within
Mark,
and
and
close
there's
to the company, last month the two
it
sides
comes,
were very
running
close
out
indeed
on
to
the
signing a £6 billion contract.
There's a
for
second
about
question
60
from
or so
Annabelle.
Eurofighter Typhoons, one of the world's most capable combat aircraft. Now that figure could have doubled
1 minute
with the
on the
service
interview.
and
1
ancillary
minute.
costs over the period of the contract. Now you might remember that the Prime Minister went to the Dubai International Air Show in November to witness the deal being signed, we are told, and reported that exclusively at the time. Now David Cameron has been lobbying hard with the United Arab Emirates on behalf of BAE Systems. But there was, we are told by a senior source within BAE, a last-minute glitch and the contracts weren't signed after all. At the time, that source said the issue was price. Mainly.
30 seconds, Annabelle.
The Emirate wanted up to £1 billion knocked off the price. Now, that's a huge sum of money, even for a firm the size of BAE Systems.
Just the second question.
So what's this going to mean then for BAE and its staff?
Well, in the short term, it shouldn't be
And there's an move on B. Taking B.
15.
He told us, the quote, it's very disappointing news to get before Christmas. The deal would have been a game changer, he says, for the plants in Lancashire, which of course includes
back to Mark.
and would have meant major recruitment and, more importantly,
Use his next.
Time gone,
That's
Annabelle.
Cregan
Time
on
gone.
3.
He says would have seen us looking pretty healthy for the next 15 years or so. Having said that, he said there's no threat to jobs in the short or medium term. The deal, he says, wasn't yet part of the company's business plans, so we won't be seeing people losing their jobs. Certainly not for the next 3 years or so.
All right, Mark, thank you very much.
Answer 3.
The jury in the trial of
Yvonne,
the
A
police
next.
killer Dale Cregan has been
we're
discharged.
okay.
Running A.
56-year-old
Just keep the
Anita
pace up,
Cregan
love.
is
Wiping
looking
to
to
B
obtain
next.
sensitive information from Greater Manchester
Be all
Police call handler Catherine Smith and her partner Sean Booth while her son was on the run. All 3 deny the charges. The BBC understands the move relates to the judge's availability and the case will restart at a later date.
White, run B,
The
Q.
former Manchester United and Everton
Wiping
footballers
to
Gary
A
and Phil
next.
Neville has been cleared of sexually assaulting a woman. Neville, who's 64, admitted he engaged in sexual activity with the complainant in her car, but told a jury at Bolton Crown Court it was consensual. The woman accused him of forcing himself upon her while being drunk.
Wipe, Q.
The Tour of Britain cycle race generated more than £4 million
3 nets
for
for
the
Black
Cumbrian
Horse
economy,
into a
according to
package.
report
10 on
commissioned
pictures.
by the organisers. Stage 2 of the race attracted 70,000
5.
spectators when it passed through the Lake District in September.
Answer 3.
Now, an historic pub in Preston
Package
has
on
been told
B
it has to
next.
get rid of its open log fire. The local authority says the city's pub of the year is in a smokeless zone, so can't burn wood. But the landlord of the Black Horse pub has launched a petition claiming it will affect his trade. Eunice Muller reports.
Run B.
133 on
Trace the
this.
weather net, so we can have Eno in, please.
Fire is enough to put you in a festival mood.
You've got 2 minutes, Eno, for the weather. 2 minutes.
What I'm going to do, Ken, throw it over to Eno on camera 1, and then once we're on the weather, if you can offer me Annabelle on screen 2, and there'll be a Lee Rigby screening in C, and we'll mix Roger in as well. Okay, and Luke, I've got my throwback on 4, haven't I? That's great. Thank you. Yeah,
1 minute on BT, 1 minute.
It'll be it's very quick. It's literally like, now back to Roger and Lee Rigby's death, so I'll run it straight away off the weather.
Yeah, you've got quite a long intro into the weather, haven't you?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much of it you want.
It's not about burning logs, and there are even smokeless logs that
Well, you've got time to say it. I've allowed for it. What do you think? I mean,
why not?
I think it's okay now, isn't it?
Is Eno with us?
No.
Yeah? 30?
No.
30 seconds left on this.
So, right.
You happy, Eno? Eno, just a reminder, don't walk at
20.
the end.
Standard out queue.
Preston heritage, for the city, and it's one for the book. The fires will continue.
3, 1 and 2 next. There's a bit of
2 minutes back to
we
you,
go
Roger.
to
2
Eno.
minutes. Counting out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And Q.
Now all day we've been giving you a bit
You'll have
of
1:45 when we come back to you, Roger. There is 2 minutes back to you. 1:45 for everything. Do not go over.
NWT right now. We are streaming our gallery live to give you a behind the scenes
Weather Next
look at
via
North West tonight. If you've missed it, there's not much of the programme left. Don't worry, all day we've been posting on Twitter and Facebook photos from our day. So just have a little look for the hashtag BBC NWT Live. There's lots of photos on there of what we've been getting up to all day. It's been pretty
It's about 1:50 left.
Let's find
Camera
out
1.
how it's going to continue. Eno.
A bit of an improvement tonight, Annabelle. Yes, hello, good evening. We saw some very, very heavy rain yesterday, but it wasn't just the rain that was the issue, as you well know. We had gales, some very strong winds.
Annabelle, you're on 1 for the throwback to Roger.
The tops of the Pennines, but the Isle of Man saw 62 miles per hour gusts of wind, and you can see Blackpool last night 52 miles per hour. Today it has been quiet. It's been quite breezy, but it's been quiet. Having said that, this afternoon we saw this line of rain, sleet and snow just push across.
Are you going to give Roger a hard count, Jane?
And it's falling on frozen surfaces because it's going to be a very, very cold night.
I'll
Because of
use
that, we have a yellow weather
4.
warning.
Can you lose some 4 off a bit, Luke?
1 minute. Eno, 1 minute.
Oh, in fact, I don't know whether to use one or
Some
not.
wintry showers continuing to push.
I won't bother. I won't use
to
it.
make sure rain, sleet and snow. There is a lot of clear skies as well, so that will allow the frost to form. It's quite breezy.
45.
Annabelle, it doesn't affect you. I'm not taking a hand back shot. You're on 1 next.
A repeat performance of yesterday. So tomorrow evening, turning wet and windy.
It's got to be in that one. Yeah, in Roger's screen, yes.
30 seconds, Eno. Long stand by Roger, about
So
40
it's straight
to you.
back to camera 1 next.
Then we're going to see the clouds rolling in and some rain. Just like patchy rain initially, the rain will become heavier, as I told
20,
you.
Eno.
Tomorrow, the temperature's not too bad, 9 or 10 Celsius.
15.
But another yellow weather warning from the Met Office, this time for rain from tomorrow
Counting you out.
night
10,
into Saturday.
9,
If you keep your
8,
eyes on my window
7,
hours, you can see them
6,
increasing. We're going to
5,
see heavy rain
4,
yet
3,
again. It eases
2,
away overnight,
1,
and for the weekend,
0. Stand by, Rog.
And take 1.
Eno, thank you very much. Now, on the day, 2 men have been found guilty of the murder of Fusilier Lee Rigby. Let's return to
OS1
Middleton
next.
now,
Mix
to the town
him in
where
the
he
screen.
grew up.
There he is.
And let's go back to Roger.
And on Roger.
Yes, Annabelle, today's conviction marks another mile on the
who's
journey
put those
that
Astons
was,
in?
Phil Burke, who's a local councillor for Langley, where Lee, of course, grew up.
Sorry.
How, if ever, can you...
I've got time in, haven't I?
Should I try and put him in as a manual? Would that work now or not?
They will.
There's no time or anything, is there? So.
No.
Yeah, they're in his auto. Sorry, I didn't notice that.
He's been organised fun runs, charity events, and motorcyclist events, and he's also a trust fund being set up for the family to look after the kids later on in life.
So that support that we saw for the family back in May, is ongoing and will continue.
Right now.
It's ongoing and it will continue.
Let me see.
1 minute, Rog, 1 minute.
He's a special person in all our hearts throughout the Rochdale borough.
It's Phil Burke, isn't it?
Yeah.
This gentleman.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And we spoke to the imam
I'll put it in now.
earlier in the programme, and he spoke about
45.
if anything, perhaps a unifying out of this. Would you echo that?
Yes, I would.
Our
As
name
well.
and him.
We've got a very big, diverse community here in the borough of Rochdale, and it's brought all the communities together and made us a lot stronger.
30.
Thoughts, of course, with Lee Rigby's family.
The end montage is on air, everyone.
Yes, we'd ask people to respect the privacy of Lee's family and allow them to now grieve for Lee. It's been a stressful 4 weeks
15.
for him, let alone a stressful 7 months.
Counting you out, Rog. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Very much with Lee Rigby's family tonight.
Running A.
55 on this. We're off, you love.
I mean, to sit and watch.
Roger, well done. That was really good, mate. Really well done. Thank you very much.
2 hour Lee.
It was like Bolton. I used to speak
30.
about things that no one else knew.
It was intended to divide our
20.
communities. It has had largely the
15.
opposite effect.
Back to network.
Network
10,
next.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Waiting for network. Network.
Not back.
Ahead of the long-awaited new series
Thank
of
you, everyone.